Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a ranked game in my gearing, going over the matchmaking, looking at an enemy Montana, Venenzia, Zal, Moskva, Smolensk, gearing, and an enemy daring. My team, we're looking at a Montana, Des Moines, Yoshino, double Smolensk, my gearing, and a friendly daring rounding out my team. If you have kind of looked at my other gearing games, you'll notice this already looks like it's a little bit different, different build, and it's basically a full gun spec build with I dropped RPF for torpedo armament expertise for a little bit faster torpedo reload, but along with basic firing training. But the general idea is basically get my detection down as low as possible. So, you know, games where I don't have radar or the radar is not in proper position, I can use my DD to kind of block these capture points. Um, it is my Ovechkin captain, so I do have a little bit extra HP on it. Um, but in general, this build, it feels very interesting to me, and that's what I'm running for now. Um, so let's talk about gearing. It's a boat that a lot of people act like it's fallen out of favor, and I gotta say that as far as damage wise, yeah, I can see how it's been outpaced by things by like daring a little bit. But as far as the strength of that DD when it comes to getting a win, this destroyer is absolutely can do devastating things to the enemy team. So you'll notice what I'm doing. I'm basically pushing up here. I'm kind of off axis from my support, and why that's nice. If I spot a DD, there's a little bit of crossfire between my support here and myself. So any which way that DD starts turning, he's either going to open himself up to me or my allies, and that's going to be handy for us to do a lot of damage with them. So pushing up here, just really scouting aggressive. See, we've got a heal that just popped up. I just got 2 repairs, so I do have positive HP growth on my HP bar. That's gonna make me feel more comfortable playing more aggressive in the near future, and this is part of the reason why I've went with a full gun build, because there's a high probability that I'm able to secure a lot of these caps with my concealment. I do spot an enemy daring, instantly smoking up because I know this daring's gonna shoot at me, and because I drop off so quick, I'm able to avoid a lot of the damage. The daring's still going full speed, and the daring ends up taking a bunch of damage. Now, this is something that I use with the U.S. Navy destroyer smokes. A lot of times you can pull this little trick and treat it like almost like a miniature Haida smoke, where your smoke puffs for 30 seconds. So you notice I got undetected. I instantly accelerated again because I knew that ships were going to be shooting at me. That Venenzia I think did 5k to me, um, just catching me as I was accelerating off of my last known location. Um, but I pop back out, reacquire the daring. That gives all of my teammates and myself another crack at getting a shot on this daring, and that is that's a little trick that you can do with the U.S. destroyer smoke. Um, and the other thing is with the way that it lasts. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll lay a smoke screen like this, and then I'll come and I'll work around that smoke screen, and see if I can bait a follow-up fight where I'll basically sail right in front of just in front of the smoke screen, see if I can pick that enemy DD up again. Right here, I'm cruising up here trying to keep this Venenzia spotted for my team. And when he goes undetected, I'm just going to tuck back in behind this island, and I want to make sure we get this this repair buff, get it secured for the team. That'll give me a third buff, which at that point I'm starting to earn regen HP at a pretty good clip, and that's going to open some more aggressive play options for me. And this is part of the joy of Arms Race. There's little things like this. You get rewarded by picking up these little objectives, and you know, one isn't game breaking, although these repair buffs, the little whoopsie they did with the CV, that's a little rough. But they've hot patched that, so it's not quite as bad. Excuse me, running out of coffee. So basically, I know there's the daring up here, and I don't want to go too far from my support, but it's basically the situation. There's the daring. This is what I'm looking to do. Some people would argue, well, you don't have RPF, so you don't really know where that DD is, and I would argue, yeah, I don't know where exactly he is, but the flip side is it doesn't really matter, because if I'm in this position, he's not close enough to really be effective against as far as securing any of these caps here. I've zoned him out. If he pushes into me, I mean, his gun reload isn't that much faster than mine with this particular build, and I'm sitting on top of a Smolensk too. This is a very dead daring, and it's one of those things that if I'm just going to take and dominate an area of the map, you know, you can go have these, you know, the H, I, and J lines. You know, there's nothing down there that really is going to interest me, and I'll just stay up here and I'll win the game if that's what an enemy DD player wants to try to do. So daring does try to push back in, and he just gets whacked. I am spotted here. I see the Smolensk gliding off, shooting at me. So I'm gonna angle back towards the Smolensk. I see that for some reason he's shooting way in front of me. So just gonna play into it, slam on the brakes, and as soon as I get undetected, I'm gonna go ahead and pop my repair. And I'm inside Moskva radar. I know that there's radar coming. I'm just going to get these torps off on the Montana, throw them right through here, cover everything all the way out towards these islands, and then just bail backwards. Just fall back. There's no need for me to take a bunch of damage right now. I am going to take quite a bit of damage here with the Moskva, and it's mainly the Zao shooting at me. Zao's a lot more accurate than a Moskva. Sometimes I feel a lot of Moskva players, they use the legendary upgrade, and it makes their guns a little too accurate, where if they don't predict how I'm going to juke just right, they'll end up whiffing my ship almost entirely, kind of like that. So I'm undetected right here. Do land a torpedo hit on the Montana, but the best thing I can do for my team right now is just spot. You know, I'm sitting right here now. My Smolensk. Now this is actually something that I wish they'd incorporate in the game. This is where This is where my improved chat mod works. I don't really know these players, but the improved chat on the Aslane's mod pack, and if you want to see what I'm talking about, I've got a YouTube video up on the Aslane's mod pack. Just search my name and Aslane's mod pack. It'll pop right up and walk you right through everything. But part of the mod is it tells me what ship is actually, you know, posting something. So not just a name. So I can look at the mini map and I can see, you know, which Smolensk. Well, I've got two Smolensk, but a quick glance back here, and you know, you can see this one's calling for smoke. So I'm gonna get turned back around. I'm dropping my smoke right now because my Des Moines is pushing into a Montana, and I want to lay a big long line of smoke right through here, and just give the Smolensk and the Des Moines something to work from. Des Moines probably shot, got detected, and popped radar. Little sneaky gearing sneaking in here. So, gonna try to help them deal with this guy. And at this point, you know, I'm just leaving my smoke. Sorry, I'm moving moving pretty quick looking at things. But just leaving the smoke behind for the Smolensk and the Des Moines, and I'm just gonna open water gunboat back here. Now this is something that I probably wouldn't do as aggressively if I didn't have 4 repair buffs. Now if I would have seen the Montana uses DCP, I would. But at this point, I'm just gonna take a little bit of damage right here, make sure that my cruisers are gonna be alright. I'm just gonna keep spotting.
Battery critical.
Thank you, Janet.
The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
And gonna push right in here and pretty much just get safe. Just keep falling back. Hold on one second, gonna plug this in.
Charging battery.
Alright, there we go. Are you happy now, Janet? So, the effect that smoke screen had on the enemy team was pretty devastating. They lost their gearing and the Montana, and if you look at the HP bars for my teammates, my team really didn't lose hardly anything in that exchange. I lost a little bit of HP, but we've already eliminated both DDs, so we're looking pretty good right now as far as cap control compared to the enemy team. So I'm going to push in here now that the enemy DDs are out of the way, the radar's away from these areas. I'm just going to pick up the loot. You know, improved consumable time, it doesn't really help me all that much, but it can help the cruisers, the battleships be able to repair faster, get their radars up quicker, their smokes up a little bit quicker. So lots of little things like that that, you know, just keep coming in here and just doing my job. You know, I'm spotting the Moskva at this point. You'll see my spotting damage just going up. And this isn't a record-breaking game. This is just good destroyer play. My Des Moines is taking a little bit of damage there. My Smolensk is exhausted my smoke, but because he got to ride out a full gearing smoke, his smoke's already back up, and he's able to hop right back into another smoke and just resume cranking out that DPM. About ready to flip a cap, and once that happens, this primary capture point results in my team gaining 10 points a second, and that is a catastrophic points gain rate for the enemy team. It puts an extreme amount of pressure on them to the extent that I don't even think any of these ships can get back into the cap. And I'm just coming down south at this point. I know the game's won, just trying to get a little extra damage because, hey, why not? And gonna lay a little ambush on this Zal. I know he's got to start pushing in to try to rush the cap, to try to do anything. So I'm just waiting for the turn in. I'm just sailing out here, just trying to increase the angle I have on my torpedoes. I thought he was gonna turn in a little sharper and turn straight in, but he stopped a little short. So just follow up with the second one. Get my gun set up. I see him turn in. I'm loading AP. And he's turning back towards me. So the idea is get my torpedoes out, let them cook in the water till they're, you know, a little more than halfway there. And hopefully have that Zal turn right in and take some torpedoes. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's had hydro up or just was a friendly angle for him just to turn right through. None of the torpedoes hit. I don't really get a lot of damage out of that, but the game does win on points. And come on, game. There we go. That's right. I've already been a bad boy, and I got some games that I gotta still do videos on. But yeah, it's not a record-breaking game, but I think that my one smoke there really turned the tide of that battle and just broke the back of the enemy team. And that's where gearing is so nasty. It just takes that one smoke and a little bit of spotting damage, and you just crush, you know, you just crush and just break the back of an enemy team. So, gonna go ahead and cut this one off here. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you're having a good night, and I will talk to you later.